at you all the way from our dorm rooms to your conference rooms. Saba, Ali, and Dan Tiemann here, two college students who are ready to talk to you guys about business and lifestyle from our personal experiences.
Each week we'll discuss about our lifestyle as college students as well as our tips and strategies starting in the business field. We'll bring on successful entrepreneurs in the millennial generation to share with us their journey and how they got started and where they're at now.
Our goal is to help you students, millennials, and entrepreneurs gain inspirational advice via our spontaneous conversations and meaningful guidance. Let's dive on in.
What is going on, guys? It's episode 48 of Dorm Rooms and Conference Rooms, and today we have a young college entrepreneur on. But to get us going, Saba, how are you doing today in Iowa?
I am doing great. I'm super excited about our guest today, mainly because he is actually a student at Iowa State University, which is where I go to school at. So I'm really excited just to get started here.
Guys, we have another special guest on, like I said. It's Kai Creswell. Kai is from Iowa State, like Saba said. Go Cyclones. And guys, right now he's going to be working for College Pro Painters as a franchise manager, and he's just working on his own entrepreneurship journey, changing the hiring process. So Kai, that was a snippet about yourself. Tell us how you're doing today and tell us more about you.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Started out pretty early this morning, so it's a good way to get productive during the day. But yeah, pretty much kind of how I started. Last year I was in the engineering department. Switched my major, was not really what I was looking for, and went right into finance. Bit the bullet, went into the business department, and really just tried to fill up my time developing my skills. And from there, I joined the Iowa State Daily as a beat reporter for the College of Business. And a lot of opportunities kind of rolled right after that, one of them being College Pro, like you mentioned. And now I got the opportunity to volunteer at the Young Entrepreneur Convention. And now currently I'm in that accelerator. And currently working with an old buddy of mine in New Hampshire. And like you said, we're trying to basically just change the hiring platform or the hiring space for young professionals.
So Kai, kind of take us back when you actually first realized you kind of wanted to get into the entrepreneurship field. So did you always have the idea of wanting to start a business, or how did all of that actually get started for you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I really didn't understand what entrepreneurship was. But I mean, in high school, I always had kind of a business mind. Initially, I wanted to go into business, but some things changed in high school, different opportunities, different interests. But I guess the first time I realized I wanted to be an entrepreneur was last summer when I was, doing summer school. I was landscaping full time. One of my buddies came up to me halfway through the summer and was like, "Hey, I got this great opportunity. I'm looking for a co-founder. You're super involved. You're doing this, this, and this. Why don't you want to hear me out? Let's get this going right now. I've been working on it for 6 months. Are you interested?" So I wanted to do my own research on it. And basically what it was is wholesaling in real estate. And so I dropped everything that I was doing. I finished my summer courses, and for the last month and a half of last summer, I invested all of my time into this startup idea, and just really kind of understanding what that meant. From there, I had this huge passion in environmental science and sustainability. So I brought the two ideas together, and I was like, wow, I would really like to create a company that addresses energy efficiency in homes. So my mind kind of got set on that, and through different things came up. I switched my major to civil engineering, and I started that process. And when I went into Iowa State, the school year started. My buddy actually dropped out of Eau Claire to pursue this full time, and there was just a lot of resistance with him being in Minnesota doing this full time, myself being at Iowa State. So I ended up just saying, "Hey man, I'll help you out as much as you can, but I really need to focus on my academics right now. They're really struggling." And from there, that's kind of when it all started. That's when really the ball started rolling for entrepreneurship and really just career development. Because for me, a lot of people think entrepreneurship is just creating your own business, but for me, it's all about skill development and the mindset that you're in. So that's kind of when it all started for me.
It's awesome. Yeah. I mean, the mindset's the biggest thing. So Well, being in college so far and really starting out down the entrepreneurship path, what have you found as the biggest challenge thus far? I know it's really short into the journey right now, but I'm sure there's at least one or two things that stand out right now as the biggest challenges that you've had.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is I like to do so many things, and I love to learn. So it's really hard to lock in on one idea and stay accountable to it for the whole lifespan of it. I've changed my major every single semester just due to kind of what's hit me, where my different career goals have changed. But I think right now, I think one of the biggest difficulties is, I don't know, I guess like it's really easy to get into this mindset of, hey, like this entrepreneurial mindset, like I'm gonna not take no for an answer, I'm just gonna grind, but it's hard to sustain that mentality, right? A lot of times what I've noticed is you'll be in the right mentality for a week, a month, 3 months, but then you'll have a week lapse, a 2-week lapse, a 2-month lapse. And really that next part of development for myself is not letting those lapses happen. So just staying consistent with my mentality.
I can definitely relate to that because sometimes if you get so many opportunities, it's hard to say no to all of them. But
hmm
what exactly are you working on now, Kai? Because I know you're doing some amazing things. So start telling us about what you're doing now.
Yeah, so I take it you're talking about kind of this platform, this hiring space that we're working towards. So I guess to start off that story is recently I wanted to improve kind of how do I develop this personal brand of mine? Everyone talks about it. So being at the Iowa State Daily, I did some good work there and people started to notice. And this coming semester, I will be the special sections editor for the Iowa State Daily. So that's really, I'll be in charge of kind of the design, the processes of all these different sources that the Iowa State Daily uses, such as magazines, Facebook Live series, things like that. So that was like, okay, I can start developing my personal brand skills, at least different platforms I can use. But when I joined this accelerator, it was really, I don't know, it's kind of funny, I guess, now looking at it, but I just had this gut feeling that I should take it. I should risk it, invest my money and my time into it, and just, go from there, take the risk. And I remember right after I got the okay from my parents and everything was like, it worked out financially. We figured out a way to make it happen. That 4 hours after I told Brandon Adams, I was on board, I was, just really like second guessing myself, not really sure because I didn't have an exact business idea to start. 4 hours after that, the day before, I reconnected with a buddy in high school that I knew for a year, and he's actually in New Hampshire now, Brendan Murphy. And we got on a video call and just kind of caught up with each other, and we both had these different ideas. And so I'm currently in the process of implementing a section at the Iowa State Daily that is, the idea is to spotlight college students that are achieving success, telling their stories, how they achieve it, and really just trying to inspire other students to do what they're doing through their stories. So I told him about that idea, and he told me about his idea that he actually had. For one reason or another, it kind of stopped, got put on hold for about 6 months, but his thing is called a resume site. And pretty much what he was trying to do is create a different way for young professionals to represent themselves. And we brought our two ideas together, and we really started clicking on it. And, from there, over the past couple of weeks, we've just really been grinding away at it, got a mentor in Ireland, actually. And pretty much what that idea is we're just trying to, again, change that hiring space because, we see resumes, we see LinkedIn. A lot of hiring managers and stuff are not using it. Most times the hiring managers or whoever's looking at your resume look at it for about 5 seconds most. So we want a way to make representing yourself, make finding jobs, make that whole process sexy again, and make it something attractive and something that these young kids want to do. Because for LinkedIn, we use LinkedIn for an example a lot, just because that is kind of the way the future is going in our eyes, is kind of representing yourself online. So, I mean, for college students who don't know how to use LinkedIn, that don't have a lot of background in the professional fields, a lot of credentials and stuff like that, it's really awkward to use something like LinkedIn. So pretty much what we're doing is, like I said, we're trying to create almost like a network, both from the corporate side and the recruit or on the consumer side, and just trying to make that process really, really simple, but also very, very fun at the same time, and just making that whole process just more efficient.
So Kai, what has been like the driving factor behind this? Like, what's your why? What drives you to be successful in entrepreneurship at such a young age?
I guess I hit some pretty lows over the past couple of years. I used to be a lot of kids, they feel sorry for themselves, all this stuff. I've been there as well, but I just realized eventually that, the more you feel sorry for yourselves, you're not going to do anything to fix it. Nothing's going to change if you feel sorry for yourself. So for me, just through what I've done, it's someone like Lewis Howes, where I just stumbled upon his podcast and started listening to it, and I just really got inspired, and I've been able to completely turn my life around, and that's just something I want to share with other college students. I want to help college students do the same thing. I want to help them, achieve the same level of success that I want to be at, that my partner wants to be at. I want them to get into the same mentality, or this mentality of, hey, I am in control of my own destiny, and there are different ways I can do it. So pretty much, I guess right now with this idea, what really strives me to do this at such a young age is, one, it can happen. It's been a couple weeks now, and we're seeing that it can happen. Both of us, my partner and I, are dead broke, but we're grinding. We're spending a lot of hours on this. We're contacting people. We're putting ourselves out there. And even though we don't have any money, we're still able to do it. And that's kind of what I want to see with college students, really, because there's always going to be college students graduating every year, entering the workforce, all this stuff. And if we can provide a way for them to get jobs, get internships, represent themselves more efficiently and in a better way, to connect with people that they may not have otherwise connected, for me, that's a win. If one person can do that, that's a win. So really, that's what it is.
So Kai, you're right now a sophomore, so you're going into your junior year of college. So how do you plan to manage a business, taking classes, and then doing the Iowa State Daily next year? Do you have a set schedule of when you're going to be working on your business, or how do you see all of that playing out?
I guess I'm just learning as we go. I saw a guy connected with Brian Wright. I saw one of his Facebook Lives the other day, and he said just kind of this analogy of, if you're a level 2 person and you get a level 5 problem, that problem's going to seem huge. But if you're a level 8 person and you see a level 5 problem, that's going to be something you can just, finish right away. It won't even be that, it won't even phase you. So right now, I'm still learning. That's what it is. I love to learn. I have a couple different scenarios in my mind of how next semester is going to play out, but really I'm just trying to focus, every day, every month, just trusting in the process. I decided against taking a summer course this summer so I can focus more time into this side business that my partner and I are trying to create. But other than that, it really just comes down to how well you manage your time. So something that I've been doing a lot recently is using Google Calendars and blocking off time hour by hour and just planning out my day. So I really know when I should be taking my steps, whether it was in the school year, it was when should I be walking from class to class? When am I walking from the library? Getting down to that nitty gritty. But I think the hardest part of that is it's one thing to set your schedule up, and it's a completely other thing to be accountable to it. And that's just something, I'm still learning. And, a huge thing that is helping me through this process is having people that are going through the same thing, mentors that have done it before, people that are, brutally honest with me, but as well as people that are giving me encouragement, giving me advice. So, just that feedback is huge, and that accountability and having a group that, is doing it with you makes it a lot easier.
So Kai, just going, talking directly to our audience here of college entrepreneurs and college students who maybe want to get into the entrepreneurship world, what is one takeaway that you can give them, or one great piece of advice just to close things down here? What is one great piece of advice that you could tell them to continuously do, or, whatever it might be, to really get started going in entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the biggest thing is if you have an idea and you're really confident behind it, start doing it. There's always a way to get started. I had no idea what I was going to do. I've had a couple ideas, and by not getting started on ideas in the past, or not really knowing where to go and failing, that's taught me a lot. So now I'm in a position where, we come up with another idea, another platform, pretty much the same scenario. There's not, like, looking at us, there's not a lot we should be able to do. But I mean, if you have passion behind your voice, if you have a direction you can go, if you have people you can talk to, you can get started. People are going to listen. Like, investors are throwing money out at good ideas and for passionate people, if you can execute it. So, I mean, there's always a place to get started. A lot of times people say, look, I don't have the money. Look, I don't have the experience. Look, I don't have the contacts. Well, I mean, if you would have talked to me 2 weeks ago, I would have never even guessed that we would have gotten a mentor in Ireland. So, I mean, you just got to start. I know it sounds cliche. I know a lot of people say that, but I mean, I had a 1.3 last semester. I slept on the floor every single day last semester, and that was all mental choices. I made excuses, all this stuff, but I was able to change my mindset and to completely turn my life around and just get started. And that's what it is, I'm not special. I'm not anything different than anyone else, but it's all about the execution. Everyone has an idea, but you just got to go out and execute it. And there's always a place to start.
That's awesome. That's like the hardest part, is actually starting. But lastly, Kai, where can people find you if they want to connect with you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can find me on Facebook, Kai Creswell, KAICRESWELL, Twitter, Instagram. If you check out my Facebook right now, my partner and I are really doing a lot of stuff on Facebook, with Facebook Live, just kind of documenting what we're doing. And we're also starting a little Facebook Live interview series, where we're going to be interviewing college entrepreneurs as well as hiring managers and CEOs. So if you're interested in that, feel free to connect, watch along, give us your feedback, because that's really what it is. We are very early in this process, so all feedback is very valuable at this stage. But yeah, any social network is where you can reach me. If you're interested in getting your house painted and you're in the Ames or Boone area, just go to College Pro and they'll lead you right to me.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, guys. So in the show notes, we'll definitely have a link over to Kai's Facebook page. And that's another great takeaway too, actually. If you guys are getting started, make sure you document what you do, because people want to know that. People want to see the journey. Like, I literally have a picture of my desk in my attic right now, because to show that you could do things from an attic of a college house to get started. Because you know what? I know people are going to want to see that picture one day, that are going to be like, Dan, how'd you get started? I'm going to send them over a picture of a desk that looks over a tiny little window and things like that. So it's definitely, guys, document whatever you do. It's really a great way. Plus, especially with processes and stuff like that, if onboarding clients and stuff like that, you have to document that as well. It's really a good habit to get into. Well, like I said, we'll have in the show notes, we'll have a connection to Kai's Facebook. Watch the lives, guys. They're great stuff. As well as you can find him there and find us at dr2cr.com. And Saba, what are some final words?
Thank you so much, Kai, for coming on today. Like what he said. Yeah, of course. Like what he said, the hardest part is just to start. So just do it, guys. But that's all we have today on Dorm Rooms to Conference Rooms.
Thank you, Kai.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Dorm Rooms and Conference Rooms. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you haven't joined our accelerator program yet, you can find that at livetogrind.com/college, where we connect you with today's latest influencers and experts in their fields.